So before we start, I just want to make sure that everyone is here in the right Zoom meeting, which is the 310 CMR 7.41 large entity reporting requirement. So let's start. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Na Huang. I'm with the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. And as Sharon mentioned that this online public hearing is being recorded. So before we begin the hearing, I just want to share a few logistics on the Zoom meeting features and how this meeting will run. So to minimize the background noise, all attendees in this meeting are on mute. However, there will be opportunity to provide oral testimony. So if you've joined online, please enter your name and affiliation in the chat box located in the chat bar of the Zoom control panel on your computer, or at the top right of your mobile device by clicking on the chat bubble icon. If you would like to testify, please type testify after your name. If you're having trouble finding the chat box on your computer, try clicking on the more icon to see additional controls. So the chat function should only be used to provide your name and indicate you wish to testify. So the chat box is not to be used to provide written testimony. So information on where to send written comments will be provided during this hearing. So if you're on the phone, we will unmute you, the callers, one at a time to ask for this information and provide you the opportunity to testify. So now we can begin the hearing. So this is a public hearing held by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. My name is Na Huang, and I'm the hearing officer on this matter. With me on the hearing panel today are Haiti Janik and Sharon Weber. And Jenny Outman will be calling on those who indicate they wish to testify. We're here today at 2:35 p.m. on October 4th, 2022, on an online public teleconference to accept testimony on the adoption of a one-time reporting requirement in Massachusetts 310 CMR 7.41 large entity reporting requirement. The regulation requires certain fleet owners to submit a one-time report on their medium and heavy-duty vehicles, including vehicle type and usage characteristics. This information will help the Commonwealth assess the best way to develop charging infrastructure and programs to support and accelerate the medium heavy-duty zero-emission vehicle market in Massachusetts. The purpose of this hearing is to solicit comments on the regulation. If anyone wants to provide comments on this regulation prior to the end of the public comment period and needs interpreter services, MassDEP provides language access interpreter translation services to limited English proficient individuals free of charge. Information about these interpreter translation services is available on MassDEP's website. Notice of this hearing was published in the Boston Globe and the Worcester Telegram and Gazette on September 8th, 2022. Notice was also emailed to interested parties. The amendments, background information, and public notice were made available at MassDEP's website on September 8th at www.mass.gov/for-details/MassDEP public hearings comment opportunities. testimony may be presented orally at this hearing today. We will accept written testimony until 5 p.m. on Friday, October 14th, 2022. This is the date and the time by which any written comments must be received by MassDEP. It is not a postmarked date. Please submit written testimony electronically to nog.huang@mass.gov. Or if you wish to submit written testimony on paper, please mail it to Nog Huang, MassDEP, 1 Winter Street, 6th floor, Boston, Mass. 02108. Comments sent to any other email or address may not be received in time to be included in the official docket. In a moment, we will begin to unmute online participants who have indicated they wish to provide oral testimony. Once all online participants who have indicated they wish to testify have done so, we will ask the phone participants if they wish to testify, and if so, to identify themselves and present their oral testimony. So let's ask Jenny. Jenny, can you tell us how many people have indicated that they would like to testify?
As of this time, nobody's indicated they'd like to testify. So if you would like to testify, please write your name and affiliation and testify in the chat box.
Okay, great. So we'll just open the testimony right now and just wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vina from Sierra Club, you'd like to testify?
Yes, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Veena Dharmaraj, and I'm the Director of Transportation at the Massachusetts Sierra Club. On behalf of our over 100,000 members and supporters across Massachusetts, I'm testifying in support of strengthening the proposed large entity reporting requirement. Trucks and buses account for just 7% of on-road vehicles in Massachusetts, but they're responsible for 20% of greenhouse gas emissions, 40% of particulate matter, and 46% of nitrogen oxide emissions. These pollutants contribute to negative health impacts, including increased risk of cancer, cardiorespiratory illnesses, and asthma. The large entity reporting requirement complements the advanced clean trucks and heavy-duty omnibus regulations adopted by MassDEP earlier this year. These two regulations will accelerate the supply of electric trucks in the Commonwealth while significantly reducing diesel truck pollution. However, if the Commonwealth is to be successful in an equitable transition to zero-emission trucks and buses, it is crucial that we have accurate information on the number of trucks on our roads, their vehicle class and mileage, and where they travel within the state. The proposed large entity reporting requirement does not capture the granular information that is needed to provide a clear picture of where and how many trucks operate through the state. We offer the following recommendations to strengthen the regulations. First, we recommend that MassDEP lower the fleet size threshold to 5 or more vehicles to capture accurate data on a majority of trucks on our roads. The proposed 40 vehicle threshold for reporting is too high and would leave out a bulk of the Commonwealth's medium and heavy duty vehicle fleets. Oregon's reporting requirement requires fleets with 5 or more trucks to report, and Washington's proposal also sets a low 5 vehicle threshold for reporting. A lower threshold will provide data on trucking corridors, document public health impacts, and identify small fleet owners who are less likely to have the resources to meet the higher upfront cost of zero-emission vehicles. Having comprehensive baseline information on our trucking fleets will also help inform state programs and prioritize adoption in fleets operating in overburdened communities. This is necessary for an equitable transition And if we are to meet the target of having 50,000 electric trucks on our roads by the end of this decade, as set in the CECP. Second, we urge the Commonwealth to include additional fleet reporting metrics that documents geographic distribution of air pollution hotspots in relation to truck traffic. MassDEP should require eligible entities to also report on the vehicle model year, fuel type, average number of daily trips. In the case of fixed routes, metrics should capture the origin and destination points, the environmental justice populations that the truck travels through, the frequency of travel, and en route parking locations. These additional metrics will document the quantity of air pollutants emitted, help understand key trucking hubs, determine how easily these trucks can be electrified, and potential locations for charging stations. Third, we recommend that MassDEP require reporting at least every 5 years. There has been a 34% increase in e-commerce sales since the start of the pandemic, and Massachusetts is seeing a significant increase in warehousing facilities that contributes to truck traffic, congestion, and air pollution. Regular reporting will capture changes in fleet composition over time, track progress in the adoption of electric trucks, and inform policy changes. Finally, Massachusetts should ensure that the reported fleet information is publicly available. Sierra Club supports the adoption of the comprehensive large entity reporting requirement and encourages MassDEP to consider our recommendations to strengthen the rule. Thank you to all the staff at MassDEP for your work on these regulations and for your consideration.
Thank you. Pat O'Connor.
Thank you very much. I'm Pat O'Connor. I'm representing the NAFA Fleet Management Association. Our members in Massachusetts, and we have many, manage fleets of cars, trucks, buses, anything that travels on the highways of the state. Just one comment. We have been working with the California Air Resources Board on a similar large entity reporting requirement. And unfortunately, California has not provided the data that was collected through the large entity reporting, has not shared that with the utility companies in the state of California. We would urge that Massachusetts, if you go forward with large entity reporting, you commit to using that data to allow utilities in collaboration with fleets to map out where the utility needs will be for EV infrastructure in the future in Massachusetts. We're finding in California that is a significant problem because utility companies aren't able to project where they're going to have to put in the infrastructure, particularly for fleets with central fueling depots. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, I don't see anyone else in the chat that wants to indicate they're testify. Do you want to unmute the people on the phone if anyone's on the phone?
Yeah, that'd be great. It's Jenny, do you do that, or who would be able to do that?
I can do it. I see one person.
Okay.
Looks like they're on the phone. So I just hit unmute for the person on the phone. If you would like to testify, please let us know now.
You have an 802 area code.
I think that's it for anyone on the phone.
And I don't see anyone else in the chat that's indicating they want to testify.
Okay, let's give it a little bit more time in case somebody wants to testify. Seems like Paulina. Yeah.
Tara?
Yes, thank so much. Sorry to join a little bit late. My name's Paulina Muratori. I'm a campaign manager with the Union of Concerned Scientists in Massachusetts. On behalf of our Science Network and activist members across the state, I am testifying today in support of a strong large entity reporting requirement. By pairing this with the ACT and HTO rules, this will provide a clear picture of truck traffic in the state, which is an important foundation as we transition in a just way to zero emission, medium and heavy duty sector in Massachusetts. I'm going to give a few recommendations briefly that will be expanded upon in written comments, many of which some colleagues have already emphasized. The first is that we recommend lowering the fleet size threshold to 5 or more vehicles. Without this, the accurate data simply will not be captured, and we will miss a lot of the crucial truck traffic that is necessary to understand in order to make this reporting as effective as possible. Lowering the fleet threshold size will also help smaller fleet owners who are not able to access the resources as easily. Second, fleet reporting metrics should capture data that documents the geographic distribution of air pollution if possible. As you know, these trucks are disproportionately responsible for air pollution and health impacts. So by capturing as much data as possible through this process, we have a better chance of understanding where the most detrimental impacts are currently happening. We also recommend that this reporting requirement happen every 5 years in order to track progress. With a strong one-time reporting requirement, we will be off on the right foot. But as mentioned earlier, this landscape changes constantly, and we have no way of predicting exactly what that will look like 5 years from now. So a strong reporting requirement now, as well as additional data to collect down the road. And lastly, fleet information should be publicly available. Without public data, it's very difficult to know what policy interventions and other choices the Commonwealth can make to make this as effective as possible. This reporting requirement has the potential to really set us on the right foot, and we recommend these small changes that will make a big impact in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you. Just wait for a few more minutes. Okay, Jenny, we haven't gotten any more.
No one further now.
Okay, well, Haiti, anybody on the phone?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Well, I think, Sharon, did anybody join recently or?
No, I think we're all set.
Okay, all right. So I think I want to thank everyone, all of you who testified today, as well as all those who attended this online hearing without testifying. So the testimony presented at this hearing or submitted by the comment deadline will be considered by the department before making the regulation permanent. Notice of the availability of the permanent regulation and the department's response to all relevant comments raised during the public comment period will be emailed to all parties who have participated in the public review process and will be available on to other interested parties. So there being no further testimony, I hereby close this online hearing at 2:52 p.m. on October 2022. Thank you, everybody.